Hey there, and welcome back to Hold and Modify, YouTube's most poorly produced, underproduced Amiga program. And today we are going to show how this awesome hobby of ours with these Amigas is not always, what is it, whiskey and cream, peanut butter and jelly? But no, this is not going to be an Amiga 2500 video. Sorry, this needs some more work. It's going to be about something Amiga. I mean, that's what I do on this channel most of the time. Most of the time.
This computer will rule the world.
All right, so over here, we're looking at the Amiga 3000, and the video is not necessarily about the 3000. This video is going to be a shorter one, not one of the big 30-minute ones, but I just wanted to show you a point where I love these guys. They're great. They're a lot of fun. I fire them up. Sometimes I do play games. Yes, I actually do sometimes play games, but a lot of times I'm just sitting down doing my graphics and my art and having a blast, and it's the thing. I've made those videos, but I do want to talk about how, just like the 2500 over there behind us, yeah, it's not always great, right? There's always issues. You spend all this time, like I don't put screws in any of my cases. Like these all just lift up, okay? And none of the big box ones have their screws in them. I just kind of slide the case on. And it's because, like we saw over here in the amazing 2500 land, it's just, you've got to open things up. In fact, the only thing I've got Amiga-wise that stays together all the time is the CD32. That is buttoned up, and it does always just happily work and never have a problem with it. I don't know, maybe because it was built as a console, it doesn't have issues, so that's pretty cool. Arctic Fox and Interceptor and the Enterprise, the Reliant, those are also pretty cool. And over here, the 500, you know what? Hasn't given me any problems. Chris Edwards came out and fixed up that drive. It's also not buttoned up. I could. It always worked. What I wanted to highlight, though, was that, yeah, it's not always great, but this 3000, and I've mentioned this in other videos, this 3000 always boots. I call it the always boots 3000, and I'm going to risk it again. I'm going to risk the curse I keep saying that. People say, Q, stop saying that. Amigas, even just sitting here doing nothing sometimes, decide that they want to go to bed for the rest of their lives. But I'm going to tell you right now, Amiga 3000 always turns on. Let's go. Watch. Push the power button. Here we go. Flicker, 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 flicker. Boom, VGA signal. This 3000, admittedly, has not been turned on in probably 2 months, maybe longer. Could be 3 months, actually. Oh my gosh. But yeah, look. Always boots. 3000. It has what does it have in it? It has a Phase 5, an original Phase 5 68060, and a Picasso 4 card. And yeah, there you go. Always boots 3000. Love you. Amazing. I slide this thing around. It gets banged into every now and then. Lemmings over here, sometimes does his thing. Skyrim with the fork. Rest in peace, Mitten Squad. This is like, this thing always works. It's great. 1200, also always boots. Never have a problem with it. I wasn't actually going to turn this on to prove a point, but look, I'll go ahead, flip the switch. Now keep in mind, this 1200 has oh gosh, what does it have in it right now? It has a Kickstart ROM screen. No, it has a PyStorm in it, I believe. Now, this does have one of the newer PyStorm cores installed. I've only ever just updated the software on my PyStorm. I've not actually flashed the CPLD or the ROM or I don't know, whatever it's called, the thing brain thing. And I've not actually done that ever since I've gotten this. So who knows how truly out of date my PyStorm really is. But I have updated at least the software angle to it. At least that's my understanding of it. And yeah, 1200, it always boots up, even with my weirdly sort of up-to-date PyStorm. Then we come over here to the 4000, which I do love the 4000. I love the AGA, the faster chipset. This has a BFG 68060 in it, so it's nice and quick. And it's got the RGB to HDMI through the, no, it's not RGB to HDMI, I'm sorry. It has the Mark III flicker fixer, the same thing that the 1200 has. So we'll go ahead and fire this up. Now, I don't call this the Always Boots 4000, although, wait a minute. I haven't turned this 4000 on in probably a month, maybe 2 months, but the last time I turned it on, I did a lot of stuff to it. I have a video on that. I cleaned the floppy drive, and I believe I got it working. I did not have a long enough cable to have the CD drive actually be plugged into the IDE bus. So that kind of bummed me out. But I don't really ever use it. It's kind of there just for show. But oh my gosh, the whole point of this video is to say, look, your Amiga sit around, you spend a lot of money and time on them, and yeah, sometimes they just self-destruct. They just stop working for some weird reason. Now, this 4000 booted right up. You saw it right here. That's super awesome. I'm actually shocked. That kind of blows this whole point of the video. But yeah, here we go. 4000 is working. It is on 3.2.2.1. I think the version of eyebrows on this is, let me see here. Yeah, it's 3.0. I don't know if that's the current one. Well, guess what? We can always just find out by going over here. Go to the old DevNet there. Let's see. Oh, no DNS found. Uh-oh. Well, so that can mean a couple of things. Yes, my eyebrows is really out of date, and my SSL stuff could be out of date, or it could just mean I don't have a network connection. Let's find out here. Sometimes when the 4000 boots, the network connection using the roadie doesn't actually work, okay? And so what I have to do is reboot the Amiga and kind of like try again. Do not see the share popping up, so I'll be right back. Okay, there we are, we're rebooting. That little whoop is normal for the Phase 5 6860 and any 6860 really, as I've seen. I actually forgot how noisy the 4000 is because I did not replace the stock fan in the power supply. 3000 is super quiet because I actually swapped the fan in the power supply with a Noctua fan. That was one of my earliest videos, by the way. So if you want to see me ripping apart the Amiga 3000's power supply and putting a Noctua fan in it, go back and search my channel for like Amiga 3000 playlist or whatever. You'll see it in there. All right, so here we are back, and this time I'm going to double click my share. A lot of times a second, there you go. So now it's showing up. So let's see if eyebrows will work now. Now, if eyebrows is still complaining, then it might be that, yeah, the SSL is out of date and some other things, and it's just not going to be happy. It was just a network card needing a little kick in the butt to wake up. And the latest version is, okay, we're not really that far behind. Yeah, it just says 3.0A. There's the SSL is 516. So yeah, I got some fun there. I can go ahead and download those and update it and probably run a little smoother, but that's not really what this video is about. This video is about that your Amigas will not always run smoothly, and don't freak out. Don't be, look, I know some of you guys out there, you go on eBay or you go on the forums or Facebook group and you pick up one of these Amigas and the guy who's selling it tells you, look, it's 30 years old, don't freak out if you get it home, it doesn't work, even though I said it works. You might have to like wiggle a couple things, or it's just how it is. So it's not like people are trying to screw you over completely. Now, there are some folks out there that are selling absolute crap and they're just lying. They're like making up pictures and photoshopping stuff. But getting these Amigas home, they're not perfect. They will, like, I could just like, I'm not going to do it because that's how worried I am, but you could just like slide the computer and all of a sudden it stops working. It just turns off. That does happen. You've seen other YouTube channels. I think Chris Edwards recently made a video with the 4000 where he had to do all kinds of weird things to it to get it to work. And it's just a fact of life with these things. So if any of you out there are just like, oh, this is not even worth it, I'm so pissed at myself, I spent $700 and did this and that, we're all experiencing it. You are not alone out there. There's a really good community out there to help us, to help get you through it. There's Facebook groups, there's forums out there, there's Discord groups. You can find the help you need to try and get things taken care of. And of course, there's people you can send them to. Look, as awesome as my 4000 is, it still has its problems. I mean, like I said, often it doesn't actually turn on the first time. I have to turn it on once, turn it off, turn it back on, and it works. But weirdly, ever since I cleaned this floppy, and I think, like I said, when I cleaned this floppy, I mean, I really cleaned it out. I tore it all apart. So there we go. Yeah, see, it actually works now. It didn't do anything before. Like, it was dead. So that's cool. And it doesn't do weird floppy seeking stuff. Pops right out now. So I don't know. Maybe that floppy had something to do with the weird boot problems I was having. I have no idea. I don't know. But this 4000 also does have one other nasty gremlin, and that is the video slot doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. The Zorro part of the slot works, but the actual video slot, where all the video data goes, that part's dead. And we've actually tried different daughter cards, same thing. We've used my daughter card and other Amiga 4000s at work, and it worked. So that's a sign that there's something on the motherboard, unfortunately, that is kaput. Just is not allowing video slot signals to go through. Not a complete disaster because I actually love AGA, and with the Mark III Flicker Fixer, it looks amazing and it's solid. The 6860 and the AGA chipset, we got plenty of speed. So yeah, even here, even though it's on and working, look, it still has its demons. Am I pissed off? Am I mad? I'm like, oh my God, I got ripped off. No. So yeah, that's it. Again, quick video, Amiga life. It's fun, it's frustrating, it's all part of the game. You're not alone. If you can get a hold of a real one, enjoy it. If not, I've made lots of videos about emulators. You can look those up. But yeah, the real stuff is a lot of fun, but it's also a hassle. All right, thanks for watching. I'm done with this video.